Hi, this is Nicole here. I'm coming at you this morning, this beautiful morning, and I actually was just cleaning the house and I wanted to listen to a certain type of music and I found it on the station and I was just so happy as I'm bebopping around the house, and that's when it occurred to me, oh my goodness, I need to make a video to share about some things I've learned about emitting positivity, the law of attraction, and how important it all comes down to what we are emitting through our vibrational frequency. So when I'm changing that channel and I found that channel I wanted and my emotional state was high and great, and that means I'm putting great things out there, it reminded me, man, I have to share this with everyone. So I want to get right into it. This is actually going to be a two-part video. This first part here, I'm going to go over the science behind vibrations and frequencies, because if you are like me, then you're very curious about the scientific facts. If someone's going to tell me something, I have a very curious mind, and I am always interested in what's the valid, factual based science that actually can connect to this thing that's being shared with me. So this part one of this video is sort of going over the science piece. So for those of you that might be a little bit skeptical about the law of attraction or about what I'm about to talk about with frequencies and vibrations, then hopefully covering the science piece will help that to make a little bit more sense for you. And then if you watch this piece, the second video is actually going over the strategies for you individually. How, if you're not in a good emotional state, which means you're not putting out good energy into the universe, how do you change that? Because for me to say, oh, you're not in a good place, just change the channel to a happy place, some of you might say, oh, okay, well, that's a lot easier said than done. So that's the second part of the video. So let's get right into this. Part one, vibrational frequencies, and they are connected to the law of attraction. And let's figure out first what's the science behind it, okay? So a lot of what I might share, we learned in school actually. So some of you might say, oh man, I totally forgot about that, but you are right. Yes, I do remember learning about that. But I'm going to put it all together in a way that makes sense, okay? And then if you like this one, go ahead and listen to the second video too to figure out how to change your frequency. So first things first, as far as the whole universe is concerned, there are 3 states of matter in the universe. No other states, there's 3. We have solids, liquids, and gases, okay? And all states of matter, down to the core basics of it, is made up of atoms, okay? And so atoms make up different 3 states of matter, and depending on the state of matter, those atoms are going to be different within, but they do all move. So for example, behind me, there's like this, the plant that the plant is in, there's right over there is a window frame. Those are solids, and to my naked eye, they're not moving. But the reality of it is down at a core level, atoms actually, they are moving very slowly. Okay, so the atoms are packed together closely, but there is movement in those solids. You then have, of course, liquids, where they move a little more, and then gases, where they're moving really fast, and they're bouncing off of each other, and they're expanding out there, and they're going all over the place. But when you think about it, no matter what the form of matter is, okay, when they're moving and those atoms come in contact with each other, they're colliding a little bit, it's giving off a vibration. Okay, so vibrations are coming out of it, and depending on the type of matter, the vibration levels and size of the vibration may be different, but everything in the universe is vibrating. Okay, so with that being said, the next thing that I want to cover is, okay, we've established there's vibrations, but the next thing is the frequencies, or the wavelengths that come out of these vibrations are going to be different. And a good example of this actually was posed last night. I was at my parents' house dropping my kids off. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for watching my kids so I can be cleaning this weekend. Notice how I'm cleaning right now, doing a great job, but I'll get right back to it after these videos. And my daughter, there was some thunder outside, and my daughter asked about thunder and lightning and, you know, how they're different. And I shared with her, they're actually not different. If a storm is right overhead, right above your house, thunder and lightning happen together because thunder is the sound that the lightning is making. But in a lot of instances, the thunder is not right over our house, and or the storm is not right over the house, and it's farther away. So we see the lightning first. And the reason that we see the lightning first is because the frequency of the wave of light travels faster. It's a different frequency than sound. Okay? Thunder travels at the speed of sound, which is a different frequency than that of lightning. Lightning's frequency travels faster. Okay? In the end, these frequencies are results of the vibrations. Okay? But once again, there's different types of frequencies. Not necessarily one's better than the other in the case I just presented, but they are different in the way that they reach us. One we see, one we hear is also different. Okay? So, now that we've established everything gives off vibrations and vibrations have different frequencies, now we need to take that and connect that to the law of attraction. The universal law of attraction states that things like themselves. So one thing likes other things like itself. Okay? So when we're talking about these frequencies that are emitted from states of matter, including us, okay? It really doesn't want to go into a frequency that's like this. It wants to find a frequency like itself. That is the law of attraction. It naturally jives together a lot better. It fits together. Not that opposing frequencies don't ever come together, but they just don't mesh well. So they're not going to work as well together, coincide. Okay? A good example I can give of this actually is, I think everyone can relate to this. So you're having a good day, you're in a really, really good place, and you either at home and your spouse then suddenly gets home, or your partner, or you go to a party and you run into somebody that's not in a good place. Okay? Right away, just like, oh, man, this is like ruining my good mood. Sorry, not move. My good mood. I'm not jiving with this so well. I was feeling really good. And then now this person's come along, or this group of people who are complaining about some things, and like, oh, all right, well, I'm going to be a good friend and I'm going to listen, but it is going to affect sort of my energy and where it was. That's why if I'm in a really good mood, I go to a party and like I'm excited to run into other people in a good mood. We're going to talk, we're going to have great conversation, and sort of our energy comes together. It almost expands even into a bigger, like you're getting happy and high off this wonderful interaction with all these other people that are sort of in the same place that you're in. And the same thing is when you're not in a good place. That saying, misery likes company, okay? That saying exists because if you're not in a happy place, some things are going on in your life that really bother you or annoy you, and you run into someone else who's got some crappy things going on in their life, like, you like it because you're validating each other. You feel like that person gets you. You're like, hey, worse is when you're here and then you run into somebody who's in a happy place, and once again, like that might be your friend, and luckily you guys have each other, but a lot of people in their head thinking like, oh, good for that person. Oh, must be nice to be all up there. Or, I have some friends who are like, I don't think that person's really that happy. Can't be. But if you're in that negative space, you want other people in the negative space with you. Like attracts like, okay? No matter what it is, good or bad or in between. So, knowing that, now let's talk about what we're emitting into the universe, okay? Our own vibrational, we're matter, okay? We're actually all three states of matter in our bodies here, okay? And so those atoms are giving off vibrations, and every person and the frequency they give off is different, and people throughout the day, the frequency, the vibrations that we give off change as well, okay? So what you want to do is get in a place where most of the day you can be emitting good, positive vibrational frequencies out into the universe. I think of like the radio, changing the channel. If you're feeling negative or not feeling happily emotionally, change that channel to a better place, okay? To be aware of what you're putting in the universe, you need to be aware of your thoughts and your feelings. Thoughts are a lot harder to gauge and be in control of, because there's so many of them. They're coming in, they're coming out constantly. There's a lot on the subconscious level that you're not even aware of. So start to be aware and be more in tune of recognizing where you are emotionally. What place or state are you in emotionally? Because if that is your indicator of what thoughts are up in your head. Okay, if you're a lot of negative thoughts up here, your emotions are probably more in a negative state. If you're interested in figuring out more about that, then you need to watch part 2 of this video. Please, if you like these videos, like I said, please subscribe to them. I've started this just recently and I am enjoying it. I'm hoping that I'm helping some people to make little connections that might make sense in their own life journeys. So, and regardless, I hope you're having a wonderful day. If you don't have a wonderful day or moment, it's okay. Know that you can sort of figure out something to change it. So go watch part 2 if you have the time. And either way, have a wonderful day. Peace.